Will the president be acquitted tonight or tomorrow? Will the Senate call more witnesses? Also, shocking poll results out of Iowa, as we're just days away from the caucus. And of course, the virus in China and the ad that Fox refuses to run during the Super Bowl. This is going to blow your mind. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance. Welcome to the program, friend. We are recording this show before a final vote on whether or not there will be new witnesses called. So let me give you the three possible scenarios. It looks like, as of this moment, and frankly, this show is probably going to air before there is a final vote. But number one, they just don't have enough Republican defectors. So with John Bolton's new book coming out, and did he say that he heard President Trump say that he wanted to withhold aid from Ukraine until the investigation was reopened? Well, even if he did say that, even if he said, I want to withhold aid, it doesn't mean that he did it. And that is not an impeachable offense. So there was hopes from the Democrats that there would be 4 defector Republicans, but as of today, right now, it looks like there's only 2.5. And even if that half goes to the 3, they still don't have enough votes. That would mean that the trial would come to an end. They could vote for an acquittal tonight. They could vote for an acquittal tomorrow. But the Democrats do have some parliamentary options before them to try and throw amendments on it. It'll just tie up the Senate floor. It will not speed the process. And interestingly, you might get Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar going to the leadership and saying, look, we need to get to Iowa. Could you please just wrap this up? We're running for president. We know we don't have the votes to convict the president, the sitting president. Please just bring this to an end so we can go and try and win an election to defeat Donald Trump. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I wish that we had a microphone behind closed doors to hear some of those conversations. Another option, a little bit unlikely, but possible, is that it's a 50-50 deadlock. If that happens, Vice President Pence does not get to cast the deciding vote. It would be Chief Justice Roberts. It would be the man who's presiding over the trial. And that is one place that Justice Roberts does not want to be, is in the middle of a political firestorm. He was appointed by a Republican. It doesn't mean that he would vote with the Republicans. It's something that he simply doesn't want. And then the third option, which is really unlikely, is that there is just a flat-out vote to call in more witnesses. If that is the case, it will drag into next week. Now, in case you did not remember, on Tuesday night, President Trump has the State of the Union address. So if he is acquitted tonight or tomorrow, the question that I'm asking myself is, will he even reference it in his State of the Union address? I mean, it's almost too rich to believe Nancy Pelosi will be sitting behind him as the Speaker of the House. Nancy Pelosi is the one who has to introduce him. And she's been laying low this past week. You haven't seen or heard too much of her while the House managers bumble through their impeachment trial. But it would be awfully rich to see that moment. I can't wait. That to me is like a spectator sport. The question is, will President Trump refer to it at all? If he does, will he gloat? Will he grind them? If I was advising the president, which I have no ability to do, I would say, Mr. President, either ignore it or have some very obscure reference to it, like, our latest partisan fight is behind us. Let's work together for the American people. He could say something that was almost magnanimous like that. You and I can bet our bottom dollar that when President Trump is on the campaign trail for the next 270 some odd days, he will reference this witch hunt, this fake impeachment trial, every event. Like he references the hoax on the Russian investigation, and like he references the fake news. If you go to a Trump rally, if you watch a Trump rally from beginning to end, He always makes mention of fake news. Oh, they're out there. He points to them, and then people start yelling and chanting, CNN sucks, and go home, and all kinds of other stuff. And then he also references the Russian hoax. He's no longer referencing Hillary, so we don't have the chant of lock her up. But he will reference this bogus impeachment trial. I just hope that on Tuesday night, if he refers to it at all, it's going to be very quick. All right, I've got to take a break. When we come back, surprises in Iowa. Don't go away. Introducing Roxy Guitar. If you're a guitar or bass player, whether you play acoustic or electric, check out Roxy Guitar. I've been playing for over 40 years and seen guitar stores all over America. I've never seen a store like Roxy Guitar. Roxy Guitar has over 700 guitars in stock, over 1,500 pedals, over 200 amps. For the beginner or price-conscious buyer, there's Michael Kelly guitars. For the serious player or professional, Roxy Guitar has the finest selection of guitar lines I've ever seen. You know I love Warrior guitars. Roxy Guitar has over 100 Warriors in stock. They have Heritage, G&L, Gretsch, John Sears, BC Rich, Duesenberg, Dean, legendary guitars at great prices, including pre-owned Gibsons, Fenders, and more. Let them know you heard about Roxy Guitar from Randall Terry and receive 10% or more off your purchase on select items. Go to roxyguitar.com. Welcome back, friend. Iowa has its caucus on Monday night. The Iowa Caucus is the first primary of the Democrat Party process to pick its nominee for president. A week later is New Hampshire, and then we've got Utah and South Carolina coming up after that, and then Super Tuesday at the beginning of March. The Iowa Caucus is similar to a convention. There's over 1,600 caucus areas, and each of them functions like its own mini convention. So here's how it works. People go into a room, and then there's signs posted on the walls. One will say Klobuchar, one will say Sanders, one will say Buttigieg, etc. And then the people in the room go and stand with their candidate's organizer. And you literally are looking around the room and you see everyone. There's no ballot. You don't go and cast a vote or check a box or flip a switch. No. Your body is counted in a public showing. Right, they do that once. And they changed the rules this year, so they do it once. And if the candidate that someone supports does not have 15%, they don't get any of the delegate count. So after the first alignment or the first casting of counting of the heads, they say, okay, here comes the next one. This one's going to be final. And let's say that Buttigieg only has 7% of the people in the room. Those 7% can go to their friends in other areas and go, oh, come on, stand with Buttigieg. We need to give him a try. Or if they just can't, then at the second time there's a vote taken or a count, their vote doesn't matter. So they will usually either they'll go home, walk out the door, or they'll go into someone else's group to bolster their numbers. That way they didn't come for nothing, and their second choice or their third choice, they get to show their support. Yes, it's complicated. Yes, it's odd in American politics, but it's the way Iowa works. And friends, it's very difficult to oversay or overestimate how much time and money has been spent in Iowa by these candidates. It's critical to win Iowa. In fact, historically, for the Democrats in the last 50 years, if a candidate wins the Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire primary, if they win 1 and 2, they go on to be the Democrat nominee. So they all know this. Now, Mike Bloomberg coming in on Super Tuesday throws a monkey wrench, and we're going to leave that out of the equation right now. But it's a big deal. And there are, I believe, 99 counties in Iowa, and most of these candidates try and make at least one physical appearance in each of these counties. So it's just a tough state to campaign in because it's big and it's sparsely populated. All right, here's some of the big news. Amy Klobuchar in, which poll is this? American Research Group. She shot up to third place. You've got Bernie Sanders first, Biden second, Klobuchar third. Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren have both begun to crater. Warren is at like 12%. Buttigieg is now in single digits, which is interesting because he peaked about 10 days ago. And 14, 18 days ago, it showed him neck and neck for the lead, or at least be in second place. And now his support is collapsing. Elizabeth Warren, who at points was neck and neck for the lead in Iowa, or in the lead, depending on which poll, she's collapsing. And Amy Klobuchar, the senator, is in third place. There's one other thing out of Iowa that I want to tell you about this poll that I find incredibly disturbing. If you look at the Democrat voters by age, okay, those that are 18 to 44 years old, here's the polling numbers. You ready? 46% for Sanders, 13% for Warren, 11% for Biden. I'm sorry, for Buttigieg. Biden is 7%. All of the other candidates are in single digits. 46%, nearly one half of the registered Democrats in the state of Iowa who are ages 18 to 44 are supporting Bernie Sanders. That number is terrifying because it represents the fact that public schools and colleges have been successful in lying to these students about the benefits of socialism. Only someone who does not know history, who is certainly not a philosopher, does not understand the American experiment in self-government. Only somebody who is naive, and I don't mean to be unkind, but a little bit foolish, would think that socialism was a good thing. Never mind socialism for America. Now, you might have noticed that CBS, if you caught glimpses of that interview, one of the journalists for CBS grilled Bernie Sanders on how much his single-payer system would cost for everyone in America to be covered by government health care. And he finally said, nobody knows. Now, the fact that CBS went after Sanders shows that CBS corporate does not want Sanders. And the reason they don't want Sanders is because they know, the business people in CBS, on Wall Street, the business people know that if Bernie Sanders, the sledgehammer for socialism, who has it in for Wall Street, for the pharmaceuticals, for the insurance companies, and wants single-payer health care, if he prevails, and he was actually to achieve his goals, that Bernie Sanders would spell economic disaster for the United States of America. They might be left-leaning. They might want to help the poor with food stamps, but they know that his antagonism towards free enterprise, capitalism as he would call it, that his demand to have single-payer health care would not be a disruption, it would be cataclysmic for the financial health of this nation. So it's going to be interesting to see. Right now, Bernie is ahead by all counts. One last point about Iowa. It is not a winner-take-all state. So Bernie can win the most delegates and hence say he won the state, but there's going to be other candidates who get delegates as a result of the Iowa caucus. We will keep you posted on that. When we come back, the ad that Fox TV is refusing to air regarding the faces of choice. These are people who want to air an ad during the Super Bowl, and Fox is saying no. We've got time for drag queens, just not time for you. I'll be right back.
I also want to speak tonight directly to Muslims throughout the world. We respect your faith. Its teachings are good and peaceful. And those who commit evil in the name of Allah blaspheme the name of Allah.
We have reaffirmed again and again that the United States is not and never will be at war with Islam. Islam teaches peace.
Islam is a religion of peace. They are not Muslims, they are monsters.
We've been told that Muslim terrorists have hijacked the peaceful religion of Islam. But Islamic art and literature tell a very different story. To know the truth, we only have to study the narrative of the founder of Islam, Mohammed, in his own words. Welcome back, friend. I just watched the ad that we're about to show you again, and it's emotional. In case you don't know, Fox Television is going to host the Super Bowl this Sunday. It is the single most watched television event in America. Usually between 80 and 100 million people are watching. And it is a place where different companies' products showcase new TV ads. Watching the ads on the Super Bowl for many people has become as important as watching the Super Bowl, often because they're very funny. In recent years, a lot of different political groups have purchased airtime to talk about what matters to them. This year, there is a 15-second ad from a face cream company that features two very misguided men who dress up like women. They are called drag queens. I'm not going to play the ad. It's unfortunate at best, unbelievable at worst, that Fox would stoop to this. Now, Fox told the pro-lifers that there was no time for their ad. Turns out it was a lie. They'll put an ad up for a facial cream, by the way, that has nothing to do with face cream. The ad by these two people who are trapped in what is arguably an ethical perversion, something very twisted, the ad doesn't promote the product. It's promoting gender confusion. It's promoting a misguided sexual ethic, an unethical sexual ethic. Fox is okay with that. But they're not okay with this.
Will you look me in the eye?
Can you look me in the eye and tell me that I shouldn't be alive?
Can you tell me that I didn't deserve to survive?
One reality binds us together.
One event we all share.
One choice tried to steal our lives.
But we survived.
We are the survivors of choice.
We are the faces of choice.
I am the face of choice.
I am that choice.
So there you have it. In case you don't know, the dreaded complication in an abortion procedure where physicians set out to kill an unborn baby. The dreaded complication, that's a quote from a pro-abortion person. The dreaded complication is a live birth. Estimates are that about 500 babies a year are aborted and survive. Hence, different states or the federal government, people introducing bills, the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. Obama, when he was a state senator in Illinois, voted against a bill that would mandate that healthcare professionals try and save the life of a baby that is born alive. So those people that you all saw in that ad, they survived. I want to run the ad again. Forgive me, but it's so powerful. And you can see by the way that the people are lit, some of them, they're lighting them very darkly because of scars that are on them. Because different ones, the attempt on their lives was in different ways. Prostaglandin, saline, D&E, dilation and evacuation. There's different ways that late-term babies are killed. And hence, I think that that's why they went for the black and white look and poorly lit, almost poorly lit. You can see it. But the critique or the praise of the ad notwithstanding, this is so powerful because each of these people are survivors.
Will you look me in the eye?
Can you look me in the eye and tell me that I shouldn't be alive?
Can you tell me that I didn't deserve to survive?
One reality binds us together.
One event we all share.
One choice tried to steal our lives.
But we survived.
We are the survivors of choice.
We are the faces of choice.
I am the face of choice.
I am that choice.
Well, it's tragic that Fox won't run this ad. It'll be interesting to see if these pro-lifers make purchases in other markets. But I say God bless them for having the courage to put this together and the clarity to put it together. It's never going to go away, people. The fight to end the killing of innocent human beings is never going to go away. There were people who thought that the fight to end slavery, the movement called abolitionism, or that the abolitionist movement would go away. It was never going to happen. Because there is a God in heaven who hears the cry of the innocent. He sees injustice. And he has people on this earth that he will inspire and empower to fight evils of these magnitudes, like slavery or like child killing. He has people in this world that will fight this evil in his name, with his blessing, with his anointing, until it is crushed and vanquished from the earth. I am one of those, and I hope you are as well. Here am I, Lord. Send me. I'll be right back. What Would Mohammed Do? Islamic Terrorism Explained is the best movie series documentary ever produced on the life of Mohammed and Islam. How do I know? Because it's what critics are saying. John Moore, radio host and author, said, "I learned more from What Would Mohammed Do about Islam and Islamic terrorism than I've learned from everything I ever read and watched in my entire life." Best-selling author Dr. Bill Warner said, "What Would Mohammed Do is the best movie series, TV production on the life of Mohammed and Islamic terrorism that has ever been produced." Friends, this is what the experts are saying. No one has ever done what we've done. I encourage you to get 1, 2, 4 copies. Call 304-289-3700. That's 304-289-3700, or order it at the address or the website that you see on the screen. Introducing Roxy Guitar. If you're a guitar or bass player, whether you play acoustic or electric, check out Roxy Guitar. I've been playing for over 40 years and seen guitar stores all over America. I've never seen a store like Roxy Guitar. Roxy Guitar has over 700 guitars in stock, over 1,500 pedals, over 200 amps. For the beginner or price-conscious buyer, there's Michael Kelly guitars. For the serious player or professional, Roxy Guitar has the finest selection of guitar lines I've ever seen. You know I love Warrior guitars. Roxy Guitar has over 100 Warriors in stock. They have Heritage, G&L, Gretsch, John Sears, BC Rich, Duesenberg, Dean, legendary guitars at great prices, including pre-owned Gibsons, Fenders, and more. Let them know you heard about Roxy Guitar from Randall Terry and receive 10% or more off your purchase on select items. Go to roxyguitar.com. The coronavirus is going to be in the news for a while. As of this taping, over 6,000 people are confirmed sick in China, with the deaths at 212, and that number is changing almost hourly. What is so dramatic about this virus is that the death rate, as this disease has progressed day after day, or the records have progressed, is between 2 and 3%, or even over 3%. That would make this the most deadly virus to emerge of a flu nature in decades. Major airlines have cut off all service to China. There are major cities in China that are in complete lockdown, no transportation going in and out for the public, nearly 60 million people. There are 18 countries, including the United States, where people have contracted the virus, and now the issue is containment. The World Health Organization has declared this a global emergency. We will keep you posted. It's worth watching, but let's hope that the healthcare world can contain this and it doesn't take a massive death toll on the entire world. God bless you. See you next week.